Let's see who's ready. Oh shit, I didn't mean to have my face cam already up. Let's do this. Okay, so yeah. Alright, live streaming for 12 seconds. I don't see anyone in the chat. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Maybe I'll just go to this. Let me pull up the chat so that I can see what is happening. I need to grab some water. I'll be right back. No one's watching right now. I'll probably delete this, but you know. I'll be right back. Alright. Wonder if there's anybody that just started watching. It's like, yo, does this dude know he's fucking live streaming? Yeah. Oh, my hair looks crazy. It's crazy hair day. What the f just happened? The tab crashed. That's no good. That's no good. Oh, somebody's got their notifications on. Good morning. Good morning this morning. Face cam all the way. Start taking some questions if there's any questions that need to be answered. Let's answering some questions. Good morning. What's up, Hunts? Afternoon. Well, yeah, it is pretty close to afternoon, but if you're in California, it's only 8 o'clock. Yeah, you guys are the real OGs of this channel. Got the notifications on. Did it freeze? Is it frozen for you guys? Can y'all see me right now? The fuck? That's like the worst image for it to freeze on. Is it fucking frozen? I can't tell. It's frozen on my OBS screen. I don't know if I should stop streaming and start again or what the fuck's going on with that. Let me try this. Nope, still frozen. What the fuck, dude? Okay. That's new. It's literally never done that before. I just updated that shit yesterday. 6 p.m. in Finland. Oh, wow. You guys are fucking late in the day over there. Yeah, it's like 10:45 where I'm at. Frozen. Oh, god damn it. Alright. Oh, still says. Did it work? I don't know why it froze. It's never done that before. Hang on a second. Let me let the kitten out. Figure I'd get my glasses since I got circles under my eyes. Oh yeah, how does that look? Fucking stupid. Yeah, I probably look like a douche right now. Are you ready for some football? Not really. Eagles are fucking killing it this season, though. I will say that. Let's see who's participating right now. Shout out to Anne Rain. Shout out to Carlisle, Danny Jeter, Eduardo Blanco. Hi, I'm Allison, Jane James, Jennifer Crutcher, John, RL1, Laura Baby Seal, Cuddy, Lisa, and S.N. What is up? You guys are the true notification squad. So yeah, you know, we can chat Game of Thrones, we can chat anything. Doesn't really matter. You know, it's coming up on the holiday season. My birthday is almost 1 month away. It's gonna be the big 2-8, almost fucking 30 years old. Old bastard is what I'm gonna be called on YouTube after that. Everybody's gonna be like, "What's up, you old bastard?" I'm like, "Hey, I may be old, but I'm also a bastard." Oh man. You guys can ask me questions if you want to. Shout out to Mario Rodriguez. Got executive producer status. Executive PWD. My motherfucking guy. What up, Sir Yari? What up, bro? How's it hanging? A little to the left, a little to the right. Oh, shit, there is some Game of Thrones news that we could talk about. Here, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. Add window capture. Yep. Alright. Yeah, we didn't do that now. Do that now, chill. Hang on, let me get that, centered for you guys. There we go. Alright, so yeah, let's do this. Sorry, usually I'd have this already set up. But there actually is some Game of Thrones news that we can, talk about. It actually just came out like yesterday or something. There's really no point in doing a video of it. It'll probably only get a few thousand views. That kind of kills any motivation you have. When you got 29,000 subscribers, but only 2,000 to 3,000 of them watch your videos, kind of like kills all motivation you would have to normally make videos. But there's a shit ton of Patreon content. Let me get out of the way of this thing. There's a shit ton of Patreon only content about to be dropped. I'm doing fucking chapter reads, like little clips from a long podcast that I recorded like a month ago. Yeah, I was feeling myself in that podcast, pretty arrogant and normal Sir Hunts, so I decided not to release it, but chopping it up, there are some really funny bits in it. But yeah, so that's on the way. Game of Thrones news. Yeah, there we go. I was just checking the chat real quick. Alright, so filming at Winterfell begins. Now, this is obviously brought to my attention, courtesy of Watchers on the Wall. You can go check out that website and read the article for yourself if you'd like. But this was written by See the Fury, the wonderful editor-in-chief of Watchers on the Wall. As always, Game of Thrones has been busy in Moneyglass, Northern Ireland, as of late. And based on the newest picks, after months of preparation, it looks like cameras are finally rolling at the set that serves as Winterfell every year. Let's see. I had to click read more. In addition to the filming news, we have a few small casting updates for you all this weekend. So keep on scrolling and get stoked because the final filming season of Game of Thrones is still getting revved up. She's got a good way of keeping you, she's got a good way of writing these articles. If you take a closer look at this image, you can see the lights in the action and the white trucks indicating that the whole cavalry is in town. Now, these pictures are actually from Alina Stark from Twitter. I actually just followed her. She's like the go-to, I guess, Game of Thrones set photos. So I just followed her on Twitter. If you want the latest pictures from them before the articles on Watching the Wall and winteriscoming.net get posted on them, go follow Alina Stark on Twitter. And it's at Alina A. Stark. So yeah, it looks like this picture here. I think this little like circle thing is part of her watermark, unless she has some lens. But I feel like even if you have a lens, that doesn't show up in the actual picture. So I think this like circle thing around it might be part of her watermark, and then this right here obviously is her watermark. Honestly, I can't even tell what the fuck's going on in this picture. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it just looks like a wooded area with a fucking treehouse being built. And then, I mean, you can definitely tell there's something going on here. It's a clearing. It looks like these could possibly be Winterfell's walls. Now, I do know there's going to be several major battles in the north this season. Hopefully, the one at Winterfell will be like one of the later ones, because then it would like just add to the epicness, I guess, if one of the final battles is held at Winterfell. Here's another picture. Oh wait, no, that was one of the ones that we already seen earlier, just blown up. And then this is the interesting part. This is speculated to be King's Landing. Obviously, the coloring of these structures right here are very similar to King's Landing. It could also be really anywhere in the south. Let's see, Titanic Studios. Let's look at some of Sue's speculation on what that is. And then there's also some casting notices that we can go over. Doesn't look like the set has changed too much in the past few days, so speculation is still wide open when it comes to these sets. The huge and sprawling creation may serve for multiple Westerosi sites or ultimately one castle. It's unclear, though multiple seems more likely given the show's knack for using and reusing the heck out of locations for maximum effect. Yeah, so if we got King's Landing, I guess another valid option would be Volantis. I definitely think we're going to be seeing Volantis early on. If we're sticking with the trend of, Game of Thrones, usually we deal with House Stark first, like anything Northern related, and then something that has to do with the Lord of Light, whether it's someone in Essos, Melisandre, the Red Priestesses, Beric Dondarrion. We saw the Brotherhood first episode in season 7. Like, we saw them early on, and they're obviously in pursuit of the Lord of Light. So if we're sticking with that trend, we could see Melisandre and Volantis as the opening scene, just to add like more depth to what she's doing. If she's over there just bullshitting, there'd be no point in showing her early on and making such a huge point to say, look. I think the scene with her and Varys was like probably 5 or 6 minutes in it. And, she goes to explain like she's gonna die in a foreign land, but if she's going back home, she's obviously not gonna die over there. So she's got to be coming back to Westeros. I had a weird fucking dream last night. Obviously, it's Game of Thrones related, like it usually is. And I was thinking about this live stream that I did with another YouTuber. I've actually talked about it a lot, but basically, there's this theory. I've seen it on Reddit. This YouTuber in particular, Azor Hype. I'm sure you guys know him. You can go check out his channel. But he was one of the first people I seen make a video on it. But the theory has been out there for a while. It's basically, what if the final fucking battle is just fire whites and ice whites, and they're just going at each other, and then they kill each other, and then they get brought back, and they kill each other, and they get brought back. I had that crazy dream along with like several other nude, kind of situations. I'm not going to talk about those. Obviously, there's no point. Doesn't have anything to do with Game of Thrones. How many people are watching right now? Like 10? Oh man, early morning ramblings. It's not really early morning, but I woke up like an hour and a half ago. Oh shit, is that my goddamn pay? Okay, let's close that. I didn't realize you guys could still see that. Okay. Hopefully it was too small to notice anything. Let's turn that off. I don't even have my logo out here. Let me add that up here real quick, just so y'all know what it is. There we go. Yup, that works. Is that distracting or no? There we go. Let's lower that down, make it a little bit smaller. I was thinking about doing a live stream on like Game of Thrones stuff. We're still filming, season is still ramping up. I think come January, late December, we're going to be getting the best news, like the ones that are 15-minute video worthy, where we have several different things released all at once. But I was thinking about doing a video of like how I make my thumbnails in Photoshop, like basically just screen capturing me in Photoshop. I think that'd be pretty cool. I might do that this video if you guys want me to. Okay, so on to the casting news. According to her resume, Danielle Galligan will be playing a character named Sarah in Season 8. It's going to be an episode directed by David Nutter. The only instance of the name Sarah appearing in A Song of Ice and Fire is Sarah Frey, one of Walder Frey's like many granddaughters. He probably had sex with him. Will the Freys be making an appearance in Season 8? It just goes on to speculate. Another new addition this season is Emer McDade. I know I did not say that name right. It sounds Irish, though. Her Spotlight CV notes that she just wrapped for Season 8, but it doesn't specify a role, name, or any other details. Galligan and McDade posed together for a photo at the Crown Bar in Belfast on November 12th and shared it on Instagram. It's captioned, "And that's a wrap," leaving no doubt that the actresses were filming. The third actress in the photo is Alice Noakes. So far, there's no confirmation of Noakes appearing on Thrones, but it seems very likely. As far as their potential roles, we saw a casting notice for a sassy, attractive northern girl playing a good, memorable one-part scene in one episode, playing an opposite of a leading cast member, and that was set to start filming November 6th. So it's definitely a possibility 20 days later they wrapped for that one scene. Another thing worth mentioning, an independent agency based in Northern Ireland states on their website, Thomas Finnegan, Connor McGuire, Emer McDade, Eileen McCloskey, and Katie Tumulty joined the cast of a major TV show. And, Game of Thrones or HBO has a history of not allowing them to say which TV show it was, so they didn't list that, but, we can all speculate that it is Game of Thrones. I took down the chat. I did not mean to do that. Let me bring it back up real quick. Yeah, this will probably get deleted. Or maybe maybe blacklisted, or not blacklisted, but, you know, put into private, unlisted or some shit. So you got to be like a super fan to know about it. I don't know why it still has that title. It should not be Jaime and Cersei. Like, what the that's probably distracted people from wanting to click on this. They're like, hey, dude, you're talking about the same shit? Alright, so yeah, let's do that. Let's see if I can't. Hell yeah, appreciate Mario Rodriguez with the mod status, laying it down for y'all. If you haven't already entered, you can. You be entering to win this awesome contest. Let me see if I actually no, I think that is linked down below in the description. If I'm not mistaken, it should be. You know what I've kind of always wanted to do? I guess I don't know if this stream is monetized. Did an ad play before you guys clicked on this? I kind of just wanted to, like, one day. I was just gonna go through my World of Ice and Fire here. See all those sticky notes up top? It's all different little things for potential theory videos that could be coming out in the near future. I say that a lot, but like I said, it's really demotivating when you look at your fucking video views and you've gotten like 5,000 over a month. It's pretty pathetic. Although it also was my fault for not releasing videos too. But, you know, sometimes a job comes first. Like, you know, you need to be able to pay fucking rent. Alright, so here we go. There's a reason why I blocked this one. Let me try to find it real quick. Skim over it. I don't really want to talk about the long night. I feel like that's fucking saturated these days. Black dessert ads. Black desert ads. I don't know how to read, apparently. Let me find something interesting to read with you guys. It's all a whole bunch of shit on the Lannisters. Apparently I was feeling the Lannisters the last time I was looking at this. I got the Westerlands marked off. I got a whole bunch of passages about Tywin and his fucking reign as Hand of the King with the Mad King, King Aerys. Oh yeah, okay, let's read about Garth Greenhand. This dude basically impregnated a shit ton of people, and a lot of people are probably related to this motherfucker in Game of Thrones. I honestly think his modern day counterpart in the show is probably Tyrion Lannister. Definitely not Mace Tyrell. The story of the Reach begins with Garth Greenhand, the legendary progenitor, not only to the Tyrells of Highgarden, but the Gardener Kings before them, and all of the great houses and noble families in the Green Realm as well. 1,000 tales are told of Garth in the Reach and beyond. Most are implausible and many contradictory. In some, he is a contemporary of Bran the Builder, Lan the Clever, Durin Godsgrief, and other colorful figures of the Age of Heroes, meaning he fits alongside them. In others, he stands as the ancestor of them all, basically the father of all of those motherfuckers. And if that's the case, then that means the Tyrells, along with the Targaryens, their roots stretch out deep into everywhere. Because Bran the Builder is obviously for House Stark, Lan the Clever is for House Lannister, Durin Godsgrief, if I'm not mistaken, is maybe a progenitor of Storm's End, Baratheons, maybe. Garth was the High King of the First Men, it is written. It was he who led them out of the east and across the land bridge to Westeros. Yet other tales would have us believe that he preceded the arrival of the First Men by thousands of years, making him not only the first man in Westeros, but the only man, wandering the length in breadth, I'm not sure what the fuck that words mean, of the land, and treating with the giants and the children of the forest. Some say he was even a god. There is a disagreement even on his name. Garth Greenhand, we call him, but the oldest tales he is named Garth Greenhair, or simply Garth the Green. Some stories say he had green hands, green hair, or green skin overall. Others tell us that he dressed in green from head to toe, and certainly this is how he is most commonly depicted in paintings, tapestries, and sculptures. More commonly, his sobriquet. Oh wow, there's a lot of big words in here, Mr. Martin. Jesus. More likely, his sobriquet derived from his gifts as a gardener and a tiller of the soil, the one trait on which all the tales agree. Garth made the corn ripen, the trees fruit, and the flowers bloom, the singers tell us. So basically, he's Mother Nature, or I guess you can call him Mr. Nature. Many of the more primitive peoples of the earth worship a fertility god or goddess, and Garth Greenhand has much and more in common with these deities. It was Garth who first taught men to farm, it is said. Before him, all men were hunters and gatherers, rootless wanderers, forever in search of subsistence. Until Garth gave them the gift of seed, showed them how to plant and sow, and how to raise crops and reap the harvest. Where he walked, farms and villages and orchards sprouted up behind him. About his soldiers... Alright, enough fucking reading. Apparently, my dyslexia is kicking in, or I guess my illiteracy. So I'm just trying to read ahead real quick and get to an interesting passage. There was never a maid that he deflowered who did not deliver a strong son or fair daughter 9 moons later, or so the stories say. These legends, though cherished by the small folk, are largely discounted by both the maesters of the Citadel and the septons of the faith, who share the view that Garth Greenhand was a man, not a god, a hunter or war chief most likely, or perhaps a petty king. He might well have been the first lord of the first men to lead his followers across the arm of Dorne before it got broken, and into the wilderness of Westeros, where only the elder races had previously trod. God or man, Garth Greenhand fathered many children in his new land. On this, all the tales agree. So that's a little bit on Garth Greenhand. Let's see if we can't maybe discuss another hero from the Age of Heroes. Let me hit the glossary real quick and look up Bran the Breaker, or Brandon Bloody Axe. I like that guy. He's a badass. I guess you can't necessarily call him a hero from the Age of Heroes. Okay, yeah, there we go. 145. I hope this is entertaining. It's kind of the last, let's see. Alright, here we go. Sorry, I just wanted to check something real quick. All you see is the top of my head. Okay, yeah, there we go, 145. I hope this is entertaining. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at something. Mario wants me to talk about the Golden Company. Alright, I will hit up the Golden Company right after this, sir. I got this nice tasty book of knowledge right here on it. Does anyone else cringe when someone like describes learning and shit like that as like almost eating food? I used to do that, but now that's really the only way I refer to it nowadays, because I got tired of hearing so many people say it. I guess it rubbed off on me. Alright. This is actually no mention of Bran in the... Wait. Okay, so the glossary said that he was mentioned on this page, yes, but in passing. Like, literally just one thing. It's not actually anything about him. Alright, so let's do the Golden Company. Can you guys hear me? Am I too far away from the microphone? Golden Company, where the fuck are you? Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So hopefully this one isn't just mentioning it in passing. Hopefully it's like an actual description of it. Okay, here we go. That's the picture that everyone uses. Do you want me to do like the summary of what led up to the Golden Company, or just like what made them form? Because I feel like if we did that, that'd be like a whole, like, this is like 3 pages of stuff before they were actually formed. trying to find a good passage summarizing what they are, but that's impossible. You have to read the entire thing. Like, they want you to read the whole thing. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll turn up. I think my mic is actually all the way up. It's just because I was further away. All right, well, I'm just going to start reading because there's really nowhere to, there's no summarization of it. Whatever may be the case, Azor River soon began to press Daemon Blackfyre to proclaim for the throne, and all the more so after Daemon agreed to wed his eldest daughter, Calla, to Azor. Bitter his steel may have been, but worse was his tongue. He spilled poison in Daemon's ear, and with him came the clamoring of other knights and lords with grievances. In the end, years of such talk bore the fruit, and Daemon Blackfyre made his decision. Yet it was a decision he made rashly, for word soon reached King Daeron that Blackfyre meant to declare himself king within the turn of the moon. The king sent the Kingsguard to arrest Daemon before he could take his plans for treason any further. Daemon was forewarned, and with the help of the famously hot-tempered knight Sir Quentin Ball, called Fireball, he was able to escape the Red Keep safely. Daemon Blackfyre's allies used this attempted arrest as a cause for war, claiming that Daeron had acted against Daemon out of no more than baseless fear. Others still named him Daeron Falseborn, repeating the calumny, I guess, that Aegon the Unworthy himself was said to have circulated in the later years of his reign. That he had been sired not by the king but by his brother, the Dragon Knight. In this manner did the first Blackfyre rebellion begin. In the year 196 AC, reversing the colors of the traditional Targaryen arms to show a black dragon on a red field, the rebels declared for Princess Daena's bastard son, Daemon Blackfyre, first of his name, proclaiming him the eldest true son of Aegon V and his half-brother Daeron the Bastard. Subsequently, many battles were fought between the Black and the Red Dragons in the Vale, the Westerlands, the Riverlands, and elsewhere. The rebellion ended at the Redgrass Field nigh on a year later. Some have written of the boldness of the men who fought with Daemon, and others of their treason. But for all of their valor on that field and their enmity against Daeron, there's where lost cause. Okay, so yeah, let's speed along to the founding of the Golden Company. All right, you know what? I'm about to cheat and pull up the wiki page. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be too much to play out of them. I think that they're kind of like one of the last book references. Did it fucking freeze again, dude? Okay, no, it didn't freeze. That was just me because I had it paused. Yeah. So basically, I see them being brought into the picture early on, right? Cersei will use them as a tool or a weapon to try to get under the skin of Jon and Daenerys. Maybe have them pull some of their troops back to go and take care of them. But what I would like to see would be them show up to Westeros, find out that they're working for Cersei Lannister, who's fighting Daenerys. Daenerys has Jorah in her company, and in the TV show, Jorah mentions to Daenerys that he used to work with the Golden Company before he came to work for her brother. So before he came to work for Daenerys' brother. So it would only make sense that if they're about to show up to fight, Daenerys, or find out they're going to go fight her, somehow Jorah is able to communicate with their current leader, maybe be like, hey, look, that bitch you're fighting for is crazy. Come and join us. We'll be able to give you more gold. And honestly, if you fight for her, there's no point because you're all going to die anyway. At least if you fight for us, you have the power to maybe live in the future. I think some of them will likely go back to Essos. I definitely don't see them being a major player. I definitely see the possibility of Cersei using them, but if Cersei's not in the battle, there's no point in her having an army. You know what I mean? So if she's like basically hiding out on Casterly Rock or hiding out in the Iron Islands, there's no point in her having an army. So I'd like to see almost all of the opposing forces that are going to be with Daenerys. I guess that's the Ironborn, Euron's Ironborn fleet, and the Golden Company, and whatever remaining Lannister soldiers remain loyal to Cersei. I would like to see them all join Daenerys' cause, because you kind of have a hole in one there. You have Jaime, who, you know, used to be the commander of that army, so you would think his troops would listen to him. And then you also have Jorah, who used to work with the Golden Company before he came and worked for Viserys, Daenerys' brother. So before, like, he came and, you know, met her, basically he was working for them. So with those two, like, you know, I guess you can call them cards up their sleeve, maybe they'll be able to basically fuck Cersei over completely and just have them join Daenerys' side. That'd be pretty badass. Hi, I'm Allison. Said I'm answering phones with you in the background talking about Game of Thrones. I laughed my ass off. Hell yeah, those are the days. Let's see. Do you guys want to start asking me some questions if you want to? Get some of those going off here. I was going to do a reading mean comments because I was looking at a lot of my older videos from when the season was still on. So I guess not really older videos, but videos from a few months ago. And there's a lot of fucking funny-ass mean comments in there that I can respond to. Like, people just insult me for no reason. Like, I mean, obviously they have a reason to insult me because they're like trolls or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Like, people going in. It's hilarious. Most of the time I ignore those comments because it was thousands of them, and I could just, like, you know, I would, like, skim through, find a couple, respond to them, and that was that. But when you really go through them and you read all of them, there's a lot of fucking hate in there. I mean, I always knew it was a lot of hate because you could tell by the dislike to dislike ratio. On some of the videos, I'll have, like, 2,000 dislikes and, like, 5,000 likes. The comments are fucking golden, though. I laughed my ass off. Like, I know 99.9% of those people, if they ever met me, would never have the balls to say that shit to my face, so I just laugh. I'm like, all right, whatever, hiding behind your keyboard, it's fucking funny. Danny Jeter said, how about Varys? Do you think he would use any contacts in the Golden Company? Or do you think he would have any contacts in the Golden Company? I mean, there's that theory that he's like a secret Blackfire or whatever, and that may be the case in the books, but there's no time for that in the TV show. They would have, like, been hinting at that back in Season 5. And that's, like, my biggest excuse for if a theory is not going to be valid or come to fruition on the show is they would have started mentioning it for it. But no, something like Varys being a secret Blackfire and how he basically is helping Aegon in the books and working with Illyrio Mopatis to basically restore the Blackfires to the Iron Throne or like, put them on the Iron Throne. That's too heavy of a plot to add into the show. So I don't think Varys will have any contacts in the Golden Company. In the novels, that's a totally different story. Sir Yari, QnA, do you think Brandon will die? Bran? Most likely. I definitely think if the dragons die, then Bran, the Night King, all of the magic will die in Westeros. I would like to see Bran live, but yes, I do think he will be one of the people who dies by the end of Season 8. QnA, how come the Three-Eyed Raven or Blood Raven told Brandon you can't change the past, yet he's able to warg into Hodor Ned? So basically, like, the ink is dry. You know, it's already been written. You can't change the past. I think what he meant is, like, what's happened has already happened. You can't necessarily change it, although you can influence and maybe have sort of like a semi-different outcome or maybe speed things along. Because we saw when he called for Ned, Ned turned around. Now, we don't know if Ned naturally did that anyway or if it was Bran that he was hearing, but if that's the case, I think it's possible to influence the past. Now, maybe not directly change it, but influence. And honestly, I feel like there's like a giant like time paradox kind of shit where history works itself out, or like history's written, so no matter what you do, it's still going to come back to that same result. So you might be able to change the journey, but the destination is ultimately the same. So it's like with a TV show in the books. It's like the journey is fucking different as hell. There's like Lady Stoneheart, no Lady Stoneheart. You know, certain characters, not a certain character. But destination's the same. Most likely meaning that, you know, if Jon and Daenerys survive on the TV show, they will likely survive in the books. Or if Jon and Daenerys get together on the TV show, they'll probably get together in the books. I say that, and that's not the end of the series, but that was definitely one of the main in-game goals. You can tell in the books and in the TV show, Jon and Daenerys are going to get together. So, yeah. What's up, bro? Do you think Tyrion will betray Jon and Daenerys? No, definitely not. I think a lot of people were saying that because we didn't see that conversation between Tyrion and Cersei. Basically, Cersei like talks to Tyrion and she comes out and lies to Daenerys and says, hey, you know, I'll help you. I'll send some troops up there with you. I don't see him betraying anyone except for himself. I do think that his fucking plans in Season 7 were stupid, and I do think that the reason why he designed those plans was to basically try to keep them alive, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have them head on attack King's Landing because he knew that if he did, the chances of Cersei dying and a whole bunch of other people dying are, you know, pretty great. And I think that he likely used the excuse of, like, innocent people as a crutch because, like, he didn't want to see his sister die in that way. I mean, honestly, even though the Lannisters, almost all the Lannisters have tried to kill each other, I still don't know if they could go through with killing, like, and let's say when Tyrion met Jaime last season, right? When Bronn set up that meeting, if Jaime was given the chance, which he was, you put a sword in his hand, you put Tyrion there, like maybe Tyrion unconscious or just standing there tied up, you gave him the chance to stab him in the gut and kill him like he said he would, I don't think he would do it. I think they're all talk when it comes to that sense. Maybe not Cersei with Tyrion, but I definitely think she was with Jaime because we saw that firsthand. She had the chance to have the mountain strike down Jaime and she didn't. She let him walk away. So I think they're kind of all talk about that, but I think that's where that, you know, Tyrion is gonna betray Daenerys, where that idea comes from, because his plans were so shit. It almost looks like he was either trying to take his Casterly Rock for himself or try to spare Jaime and Cersei as long as he could and maybe give them a chance to get away and flee. That's why he kind of sabotaged Daenerys' plans. But honestly, I think it's just the way it was written. It's just inconsistencies in the writing. Part of that comes from having so many different directors. You know, there was like 3 to 4 different directors directing each episode of Game of Thrones. I know some directors had multiple episodes, but they were usually spaced out. There was one director who directed 2 episodes back to back, but you know, few and far between. There's obviously going to be some inconsistencies in writing, just like there is with almost every form of media. QnA, how about Varys? Do you think he would... Oh, I already answered that. Mario Rodriguez says, my thought is that the Golden Company will attack and take Dragonstone since Dany's forces are stretched out. Do you agree? I don't think so. I kind of, like I said, I think that Jorah is going to, like, mention, like, they'll do, you know, where we have the flashbacks before the episode actually starts. I think they're going to show, in that episode where the Golden Company makes an appearance, they're going to show Jorah mentioning to Daenerys, hey, I used to work with the Golden Company before I came to work for Viserys, your brother. And then that, you know, that'll play into it. I think he's going to contact them and be like, hey, look, the person you're fighting for is not the person you want to fight for. The person that I'm fighting for can give you even more gold and has the ability to back it up. Cersei doesn't have anything. She's, like, backed into a corner. She's put herself into a corner. She has nothing. So do you want to fight for the losing side or do you want to fight for the winning side? Your chances of getting paid are better on my side. So I think that, along with him having that history of working with them before, is going to make them join her side. So no, I do not see him attacking Dragonstone. If somehow that doesn't come back into play where Jorah is killed maybe before the Golden Company enters the picture, then I could see them doing something like seizing Dragonstone, or if Daenerys and Jon have spread out their forces like you were saying so thin, trying to capture Winterfell, or maybe trying to pick off their troops on supply line runs or something. I could potentially see them doing something like that, but I definitely think most likely they're going to be joining Daenerys' side. It's like backup reinforcements when a huge chunk of her forces gets taken out either at the Battle of Winterfell or the battle at God damn it, I always forget the name of it. It's the Glovers. What the fuck? What is their stupid little castle called? Whatever. In one of those northern kingdoms, one of the few kingdoms that are actually further north than Winterfell. Let's see. QnA, what's the deal with all the characters with a supposed connection to Merlings are obese yet very light on their feet? Wonder what purpose this serves. I don't think that anyone's a secret mermaid. Definitely not on the TV show and probably not in the books. I think George is referring to heavier set people being light on their feet, maybe because he's a bigger person himself, and a lot of people think that if you're fat, you're slow and like you can't move quietly or something. I think maybe that's why George embellishes on that a little bit, and it's because I know lots of bigger people that are light on their feet. I've seen someone 350 pounds do a backflip like it was nothing. You know what I mean? I also seen someone who's 350 pounds jump on a trampoline and break it, like literally go through the trampoline. Like I used to work at a trampoline park, so I mean it just depends on, I guess, your situation. If you were an athletic person and you can't help it from genetics, like maybe you have a hyperactive thyroid gland, or you know, like just obesity runs in your family. If you try your hardest to work out and get rid of it and it doesn't work, you can still get in great shape, like you'll have strong legs and be light on your feet. So I think that's where that comes from. That's kind of a random question, by the way. Q&A. How likely is it that young Griff shows up in Season 8 with the Golden Company to save everybody and has been watching on the outskirts the whole time, hidden in plain sight? I'd say like a 1 in 1 million chance. I don't think that Jon Snow's twin brother, Aegon, Aegon fucking Targaryen, who somehow escaped his head being dashed by the mountain into the wall. I don't think Fagon's going to be making an appearance. I'd say like 1 in 1 million. I think that would be fucking amazing, and I think he would probably get choked out by a few characters like, what, bitch? You had this fucking army over there, and you're just sitting here watching us all die, you motherfucker? But yeah, I think that's like a 1 in 1 million % chance of that happening. Do you think it will be revealed what Varys heard in the Flames next season? With the chance that Melisandre could be bringing back, 100+ Red Priestesses from Volantis, there's a really high percentage of that, or a really high percentage chance, rather. Let me do this real quick. I'm getting sidetracked thinking about it. I just wanted to change the name of this live stream so anyone who wants to watch is like, okay, he's talking about the same shit. And just let me change the title real quick. Just give me 1 second. Kitten, you wanted to get out, dude, so that's on you, bro. I'll let you back in. Just give me a second. See if it changes. Saves that. Okay, cool. Let me change the thumbnail real quick. Alright, cool. Let me let back in my cat. Kitty cat, kitty cat. Come on. He's about to go eat because he's a little fat man. What you doing, buddy? I got both kitty cats in here. The dog's out there because he was being an asshole this morning. I had to make him get out. He kept trying to jump up on the fucking cat stand. He would like lean up on his back 2 legs, lean up, reach forward, and try to grab the cat food. It's just near the edge. All right. So what were we asking? What were we answering, rather? Oh yeah, okay, so what Varys heard in the Flames. Yeah, I definitely think if Melisandre's going to be bringing all those Red Priestesses from Volantis, and Varys is still going to be part of Daenerys' group, I know that Melisandre's going to bring them to Jon Snow and Daenerys. Varys is with him. So it only makes sense that if Varys is still trying to push his luck with other Red Priestesses. It's funny, because he's tried to do that with Kinvara. Kinvara pulled his card. Then he tried to do it with Melisandre. Melisandre pulled his card. So I feel like that's history repeats itself. 3rd time's a charm. He's going to try to do it again, and then that person's going to be like, just literally reiterate exactly what he heard in those Flames, and then we'll hear it. But honestly, it could just be like something of insignificance. Like, it did actually happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen when Varys was younger, but it could just be something that we hear about, and it just remains a mystery, which is definitely possible, because it's a common theme in A Song of Ice and Fire. Some things are never explained. Some things are never going to be explained, even though we hear the shit like, oh, by the time Winds of Winter comes out, or by the time A Dream of Spring comes out, all of the answers are going to be, or all the questions and mysteries that we have are going to be answered. Now, the questions and mysteries surrounding Robert's Rebellion, I'm sure, will be answered, but there's lots of things left up for mystery. So this could be something in Varys' past that was just put there in order to give him drive and motivation to do what he does, which is collect information, sell it to people. You know what I mean? Or use it as leverage. But we never actually find out what was said. QnA, will Bran ward into the Night King? No. I definitely don't think he has the ability to knock the Night King and then knock the Night King's conscious out and then take over his body. What I do think is possible is for him to get the Night King in the Weirwood net, like in the Weirwood plane of existence, and then battle it out. We saw the last time Bran met him, he was warging a flock of crows, and then the Night King forced him out. Well, with Bran's powers evolving and changing and growing over time, I think it's definitely possible for him to be able to, if the Night King is being attacked in the physical realm, I definitely think it's possible for Bran to drag him into the Weirwood net and maybe fight him that way. Because we do know that Bran can walk in the Weirwood net. He could also wear armor and bring a sword with him. I'm not saying that, although it would be badass as shit if Brienne or someone basically, they made him like crutches to hold up his legs and just taught him how to fight with the sword. So that way, when he goes into the Weirwood net, he could like whoop on the Night King's ass. Now we know that the Night King and Bran has the ability to use their powers in the Weirwood net, but if the Night King was warded in the physical, like not warded, if he's if he's wounded in the physical plane, would that not affect his abilities in the metaphysical plane? Would that not make him less likely to be able to use his powers for like 100% kind of thing? You know, there's a million different possibilities. Making more content on Stranger Things, yes, definitely. I actually released a podcast. It's a month overdue. I've been talking about releasing that podcast for forever, so I decided to put it out for you guys yesterday. But that is me and my girlfriend, and we were talking about Stranger Things, and she loves that show, so we're definitely going to be doing more podcast kind of things on that. We might even do a live stream on it, I'm not sure. We didn't do face cam because she didn't want to have to like put on her makeup and stuff, so we didn't do that. But next time we will likely do face cam. Honestly, I enjoyed it a lot. What I would rather do, though, is if I'm going to record something with her, I'd rather explain to her why Game of Thrones is so awesome. I feel like that kind of content is more appropriate for my channel. We could almost do, like, I'll have her watch episode 1, and then we'll talk about it. Because I've seen episode 1 probably 57 million times. It's not my favorite episode, but it's definitely my favorite one to watch because it's just, like, so nostalgic. Like, I remember what I was doing when I first saw that 4 years ago. You know what I mean? It's cool. So I like watching that. Obviously, it's been a lot longer in actuality, but I did not watch Game of Thrones Season 1 when it came out in 2011. I didn't start watching until 2013. So, there's that. Fat Cat is light on his feet. Yes, he is. Any thoughts on the Children of the Forest and what's hiding in the God's Eye? I think that is... Hey, can you guys not do this? Can you guys... Look, I'm going to see if I can't show you guys what my cats look like when they're fighting. Look at these two. They're facing off. You would think the fat one would win, right? You would just be like, okay, fat one's going to whoop his ass. No, that's not the case. The kitten is so young and spry. He tried. Watch. Uh-oh. Hey. Okay, enough. All right, guys, that's enough. You break it up. Goddamn assholes. Can you stop? Go somewhere. The black one is the instigator. Yeah, the little baby is the instigator. He's like, fuck that. Kitty's just over there trying to mind his own business. And Kitten comes up and he's like, he hits him like a fucking pinball machine. He's like, will you watch Lord of the Rings after Game of Thrones? Actually, I've seen Lord of the Rings like 17 times. That's one of my favorite series. I honestly, it's actually, when it comes to like favorite fantasy series, like novels, I guess you could call it. You know, it's kind of like number one. Game of Thrones is also number one, but there's like a slight lead on Lord of the Rings just because it's so nostalgic. I remember watching The Hobbit in 5th grade. It was like 2002, I think. I remember watching the Hobbit cartoon. Like, I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, this is insane. Like, I had heard of Lord of the Rings and obviously seen the movies and stuff, but it's just like, it's so much more in depth, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I didn't read the Lord of the Rings, but I listened to them. The school library that we had them all books on tape. So I would, like, get the tape cassette and go home and listen to it on my Walkman. And then the Lord of the Rings were coming out right around then, the actual movies. So I would say it's just that I've been with that for so long, it's hard for me to say that something else has preceded. Because honestly, if I hadn't seen Lord of the Rings first, it wouldn't have opened my mind up to something like Game of Thrones. And obviously, George R. R. Martin's biggest influence is J.R. Tolkien. So it's kind of like, how the fuck can you not like one or the other? Honestly, I look at it like how Dan and Dave did. Basically, The Sopranos and Middle-earth. You know what I mean? Like, it is so heavily inspired by Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien's. I mean, come on, George R.R. Martin, J.R.R. Tolkien. Like, there's just so many, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you kind of have to like one, and, you know, they come hand in hand. Scare your cats with a cucumber. Actually, I didn't even need a cucumber. I have this, like, little space heater thing, and the kitten had never seen it before. Look, that's his little body right there. You can see it. They're sunbathing over there. But no, he had never seen it before. So he was asleep, and I put it down, and I turned it on, and he just heard some shit cut on, and he goes, like, springs off the fucking ground, and he looks at me like I'm crazy. He's like, what did you just do, nigga? That shit just cut on out of nowhere. I was sleeping. And then ever since then, now, whenever we have it on, he, like, tiptoes around it like he doesn't want nothing to do with that shit. And if you go and touch it, he's fucking gone. He's out. Look, he walked away just because he heard me talking about it. He's like, yo, I fucking hate that space heater, dude. So yeah, Lord of the Rings will be on Amazon in 2020. Dude, I hope they do that show justice. Honestly, I think there's a pretty good chance they will. Game of Thrones has set the pace for that. Then you have other shows like what's that one that comes on BBC? The Last Kingdom. You have shows like that with a budget probably a fraction of the size of Game of Thrones, and they still do a really well job, a very well done job is what I meant to say there. It's like the Hound versus the Mountain. Hell yeah, except for I guess the Black Cat Anubis would be the Mountain, but he's like kind of too small even to be the Mountain. But yeah, it is. I mean, I say that not because he's bigger, but because he's the bully of the situation. Like Kitty, my gray cat, the fat one, he never like instigates anything with him. Now, if they're separated for too long, like if I have one back here in the room and the other one's out there, it doesn't matter which one's which. They'll go and claw at the door like they want to be next to each other. But then they get next to each other and they whoop each other's ass. So it's almost like, what the fuck is the point of letting them near each other if they're going to just fight all the time? Like, it's funny, but it's like, no, they get serious. Like, they'll be... I remember I woke up one morning to hearing this shit. They're just like making all this noise running up and down the hallway. And I go out and look in the living room. These motherfuckers have each other both in headlocks. And they're kicking the shit out of each other's face. It was the craziest thing. Like, they get their back legs right there and they're just like... I don't know. It's fucking brutal to watch. I have to separate. I grab them both by the scruff, separate them, and put them in opposite ends of the apartment. The volume is low? That's weird. I don't know why. Volume should be spot on. It always is. Maybe it's because I guess I don't have the mic as close as I normally would. I don't know. I've been having some audio issue. I think I need to update OBS again, because when we were recording that podcast the other day, there was a shit ton of audio problems. I think I might need to update my sound card, actually, the drivers on my sound card. Hello from Madrid. Hello. Olivia did good on that podcast. Very entertaining. Well, thank you. That was she was worried that people were going to start talking shit to her in the comments because she said she's not a fan of Game of Thrones. I'm like, nah. Honestly, I want you to say that so that we can all collectively convince you how good of a show it is. She likes romance. She likes drama. She likes intrigue. She's not a big fan of history or fantasy, though. So those are like the two key cinematic elements that you're missing to make that the big crock pot of awesomeness that Game of Thrones is. But she's a big fan of the drama, suspense, thriller, romance, all that good shit. So, we just got to find a good way to pull her into it. Like, you get to see men's butts or something, but she's not like that. She'll be like, okay, but you think that makes me want to watch it even more? You know what I mean? So I don't know. QnA, where does it all end? The God's Eye or Winterfell? Who is the lady in the pond? Does she end it all? Nope. You're talking about the ghost of Harrenhal. I think she's just like one of those things. I think there could be certain characters who pretended to be a ghost in few moments in the books. As far as like where the final end game is going to be, are we talking TV show or in the books? If we're talking TV show, the likely end will either be at Winterfell or at King's Landing. The reason being is because the God's Eye hasn't been made of the same kind of significance and importance that it is in the novels. In the novels, it's like this big thing. You know that's where the pact of the original, the First Men and the Children of the Forest, that's where that was made. That was where several battles taking place. There's just like a lot of significance there. Howland Reed went there before going to the tourney at Harrenhal. There's a lot of significance to it. None of that, however, takes place in the show. They don't show that at all. We started to get to see that kind of with the Children of the Forest, and then the White Walkers being in that cave in Dragonstone. You kind of get hints towards it, but it's nowhere near clear enough for them to make the final battle at the God's Eye. So therefore, I say it should be at Winterfell or at King's Landing, or maybe even Dragonstone. Dragonstone would make for an amazing battle. Although I don't know how the fuck the White Walkers would get out there. You know what I mean? They don't swim. They don't float. So they can apparently deep dive, though. So I guess if they really, really wanted to, they could walk on the bottom of the ocean across there, like in the book version of World War Z. Okay, everybody's saying the audio is good. Okay. Professor Cecily Cogsworth. Maybe you just need to turn your speakers up a little bit. Lila says, at first I hated Game of Thrones, couldn't get into it. Actually, season 6 finale blew my mind. After that, I was hooked. Hell yeah. Any more questions? You got any more questions to ask me? I kind of ran out of juice to talk about. It's right around 55 minutes, too. That's usually how it happens. Maybe you should show Olivia Battle of the Bastards. Yeah, but she's not a big, she's not a big action set piece kind of gal. You know what I mean? She's old school. She's very, romance, typical, she likes, older movies from, the 50s and the 60s, the kind of shit she grew up on. She listens to, mainly classic rock. She's just an old soul in a younger person's body. So she doesn't like the heavy, I try to get her into coming watching me and my friends LARP. Did I really just fucking say that? No, I'm just kidding. I try to get her to come and watch certain movies with me at the movie theater. That I'm like, look, aren't you a fan of Ryan Gosling? Don't you think he's attractive? She's like, yeah. It's I don't want to go see his movie. I think that was for Place Beyond the Pines, which is something that has no fantasy, no sci-fi or anything in it. That's the two biggest things too. Is her. I think it's also her mom and her aunt are huge sci-fi and action set piece and fantasy. For instance, her aunt was sick when she was younger. She watched Troy every day for 2 months. And then now it's The Hobbit. They watch The Hobbit every day. And they would watch Game of Thrones, but they can't because her younger cousin, he's 10 years old, and they don't want him to get exposed to Game of Thrones. So I think they're kind of waiting until he gets older to watch it. But I think because of that, she was forced to watch that so much as a child. Now she just loathes anything about it. So I'll try to convince her to go see movies with me. She'll go see a movie with me on my birthday. That's our tradition. We always go see, for the past 3 years, it's been Star Wars. So Star Wars 2015, Rogue One 2016, and then this year it'll be Star Wars again. It'll be episode 8. I'm probably going to see that before my birthday, though. I don't know if I can wait till January 1st to go see that shit. I definitely probably will be seeing it the night it opens. The night before it opens, Thursday night. I'm going to be up there. I don't care if it's standing room only. I cannot fucking wait till Star Wars episode 8 comes out. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, she's not a big fan of that. I did take her to go see Deadpool. She enjoyed that. That was because it was funny as shit, and she's a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. She said Rogue One was okay. She enjoyed The Force Awakens a lot because it was funny, and she liked all the different references to the older Star Wars because she kind of got those. She didn't really watch them but she knew enough about it. You know what I mean? Just like with Game of Thrones, she's never seen an episode, but she knows who Jon Snow, Daenerys. She knows House Lannister, House Targaryen. The other day, we're talking about gift ideas of what to get each other for Christmas, and she goes, who's your favorite house again? Is it Lannister? I looked at her like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me? And she started laughing. She knew that I'm not, Lannisters are the bad guys. So she does know about it. She probably hears me talking about it. And that's another thing, too, with Game of Thrones. It's she sees that I've made this channel, got this big following, and all she hears me talk about is Game of Thrones. So it's almost like that same thing that happened to her when she was a kid. She was forced to watch all those sci-fi and fantasy movies, and now it's why she doesn't like them. So maybe that's what it is with Game of Thrones. She's forced to listen to hearing me talk about it so much that she's kind of it kind of made it seem cliche or just not of interest. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's probably what happened. That probably she just hears me talk about it so much she just got turned down on it. Do you think Arya and Sansa will ever do 2 girls, 1 cup? Fucking A, that video is disgusting. It is God, that shit is nasty as fuck, dude. God, that video is so gross. I don't even like watching the reactions of people watching it because it's that fucking gross. And then the music reminds me. I remember the first time someone showed me that video, I almost punched them in the fucking jaw. I literally leveled them out. Because both of the girls in that video are extremely attractive. And then it doesn't take long, and then you're like, what the fuck? And then you're even more like, what the fuck? Is she... And then, yeah. So, yeah, honestly, will they ever do that? Probably not. Would I watch if they did do it? Probably, because it's like Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner. I mean, I don't know. Oh man, goddamn, Jesus Christ. Good question, Justin Kelly, the man with those fucking random questions. QnA, do you think Sam is a person telling the story? 100%, 100%. Hang on, I'm gonna come back to that question in a second. Lila V said, does she likes Marvel movies? No, not really. It just so happens that Deadpool had came out, and we went to go see it in the theaters. Like sometimes I can get her with that. She knows Ryan Reynolds is funny. We're both a huge fan of the movie Waiting, and I'm like, it's basically him, his same character that he plays in Waiting, but as an action hero. You know what I mean? This is like a superhero. Deadpool is super sarcastic and really, inappropriate at times. She likes that kind of humor. Like we enjoy It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and that's like the darkest comedy on television you can get. But yeah, there's that. But yeah, dude. I see the reactions to talking about 2 girls, 1 cup in the chat. Yeah, it's pretty fucking gross there. I could do this. Let me see if I can't add a face cam back to this. Let's see. Oh, wait, nope. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe it's because I already have it added in this one. I don't know. But yeah, so that's gonna be wrapping this live stream up. I've been dark as shit this whole stream because my computer brightness wants to fluctuate. To kind of like whatever it wants to do there. So yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little live stream. Spur of the moment. There were a few of you that had your notifications turned on. Thank you for joining me for this morning. I wanted to do it earlier just for the simple fact that I know I have a lot of people that watch me in Europe, and it's late as shit over there. If I do those mid-afternoon, evening streams, you guys can't really watch it when it's live. But yeah, hopefully you guys go back and watch this. Like I said, the link will be down below in the description. Click that link. Go hop in and join that fucking giveaway. Like, if we don't get at least 1,000 entries in that giveaway, I'm going to cry. Because there's so many different things we're giving away. And we only have 300 entries. It was at 200 last week. So that means in this past week, only 100 people have joined it. There's 6 different ways to do it. Go fucking do that shit. The prizes are amazing. And there's 5 fucking winners. So that's like 500% more chance to win than you would on a normal contest, because normal giveaways on my channel and on most other channels is like 1, maybe 2 prizes tops. But anyway, make sure you go and fucking enter that contest. You have to subscribe, you have to like, you have to comment, all of which are free. You also have to hop on Twitter and on Instagram and follow me, both of which are free as well. Even if you just make an account just to follow me and retweet that tweet, do it, because you can win lots of fucking prizes. The top prize is the goddamn Game of Thrones Monopoly Edition and 4 shot glasses from each. I don't have the exact prizes listed, like, memorized. So, yeah, go do that. Do it right now. I fucking demand you. If you don't, I'm going to come to your house and I don't know, man. I'll just harass you as in why you didn't enter the contest. But, yeah, on that note, I'm going to play a song. Seeing you guys. I'll see you later. I used to have an Epiphone electric sitting back there, but I had to sell it because my Jeep should stand for spend as much fucking money as possible to fix your vehicle, and it still not work. But yeah, so there's that. So I don't even think this shit is in tune. Yeah, it's not in tune. What if I just ended it on that? Like, I just end on me tuning a guitar, don't play shit. Oh, man, I wish I had my strap on it, because I can't really fucking play in this chair. Got an armrest. Armrest in the way. Oh, man, yeah. Probably need to get some new strings. All right, I'll see y'all later. Make sure you enter that contest. If you don't, I'll sneak into your house and I'll steal your kitties.